Here's it. Where is it, Ginger? Where is it? Oh, there you go. Okay, you're not going to go to do it. Anyways, here we go with Macabre.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey, everybody! Welcome to the Late Late Horror Show. What is going on? I am Dino, and that is Ginger. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, hey, welcome. Another movie debut for Lamberto Bava, Macabre, 1980. This
with a
is
little poopy abati thrown in.
well, listen, and we're going to discuss that because listen, I think Lamberto Bava's got this thing going on where people think he's been helped along his entire career by everybody else, and I think everything, like, he was an assistant to Argento, Mario Bava, you name it, he's been underneath a lot of these other people, even this movie here, Antonio Poopy Avati and Antonio Avati, get all these poopies, had a lot to do with this film, and we'll talk about it in a second. But hey, you guys, everybody do what you usually know what to do. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're the first time here and you dig this, you know what I'm saying. And yeah, join the Patreon, join the channel. Lots going on here tonight. We got Screen Actors Guild, Screen Directors Playhouse. Jeez, got that mixed up. Where, listen, the Ghostbreakers is in there tonight. We get a little bit of Christmas feel too. We got Miracle on 34th Street and It's a Wonderful Life. But we got The Uninvited, great movie. Oh my God. And a lot of the original actors play the parts on these shows. So there's a lot of good movies in those tonight. So enjoy that. Listen, I know that this is a movie.
Are you really playing Miracle on 34th Street and It's a Wonderful Life?
It's in the playlist, yes, later in the evening. Yes. It'll
Somebody go fact check that for me. Will somebody please go fact check? I want to see the paperwork on that.
We're in the middle of November here, and we're getting towards.
Somebody go fact check that for me, please.
Yeah. Hey, hey everybody. Hey, Harry Scott, Connie Clary, Rich Cat Ranch, Night Freight Talk Show, Jimmy D. What's going on? Black Roses, Orphan.
Thank you, Black Roses.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish this hair on anybody in the world, though. I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
Yeah, she's got to schedule herself when she can wash it. Anyways, who else did I miss? Kathy, what is going on? A little avatar rose there. I think that's a rose.
No, I think that's a poppy.
Poppy? Is that a poppy?
I think it's a poppy.
Okay, CM. Good to see everybody. Listen, here you go, man. Let's start this baby off. Macabre, 1980. I do got Giallo in the title because this was found by me on a Giallo list, a list of Giallo films. And I'm starting to think that, there are a lot of like almost Giallos or directors that did Giallos and they end up putting it on the same list, and they really shouldn't be because
it's because of the director. That's why they put it as.
Listen, a lot of these directors, even Lucio Fulci, did a lot of horror films, a lot of other films, and I think only like 5 of them were Giallo films. So there's a lot of these directors did a lot of other stuff.
I know, but I'm saying that's why they have them in there as Giallos, because of the director, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's this one definitely has no hint of Giallo other than it being in Lamberto Bava, Poopy Avati. A lot of people that do Giallos are surrounding this film, but the film itself, Yeah, there's no murder going around, stalking, no color palette, no intense deaths
There's
or
no
other
police
than
investigation.
yeah, nothing like that going on. So I got to take Giallo out of the title. I think I got to
You know
do
what,
that.
Dino? I didn't even know you had it in there as a Giallo.
I did.
Although I don't
Yeah.
know why I didn't register.
Yeah.
We're doing Giallos, but I didn't even realize until just now before the show when you were saying about how it's a Giallo, but it's not. I didn't even know you put that in there because it's not
Yeah,
a
no.
Giallo.
Listen, all of the movies I've been getting from a lot of lists that are like the best Giallo films. And
Mm.
listen, this is another one where people kind of regard it as a pretty good venture into Italian suspense thriller or whatever, the early Italian horror. I guess you can put this in the category of horror, but once we start diving into what's going on, because
Is it horror or is it like a thriller?
well, the ending, I mean, come on, there's bits of horror in this. I mean, there's a death at the beginning,
Yeah.
an accident, and so it's a little bit of both. We're coming to find out here that it's just either you like this type of movie,
And you'll watch literally anything.
which is kind of like slow paced. You know what I'm saying?
This movie was only an hour and a half, and I was like, come on, this movie's dragging. It was only an hour and a half, but it seemed like
Right?
2 hours.
Because the first hour, everything is so slow paced, building up
To
suspense.
nothing. Building up to nothing.
No, building up.
Nothing.
Listen, the last 20 minutes of this
This could have
film,
been on TV. This could have been a movie of the week without with the nudity taken out. This could have been on TV.
a little bit. I think you are right. It could have been.
In
It's
fact, the best
interesting.
part of this movie was that woman's body where she was hot
If you say so.
She was. She had a beautiful body. I mean, I know, Dino, she wasn't 22, but for a woman her age, she had a beautiful body.
Listen, she was the one. She was also the actress in another classic horror sci-fi called Extro. If you probably haven't seen it, but
I haven't seen it, but I did read that.
it's another weird type of movie.
This
But
movie is
I
so
love.
stupid,
Listen,
Dino. This movie is stupid.
listen, Extro. I love that movie. That's a fantastic movie.
Was that before or after this?
That was after this.
That was after this.
Extra was
So this was her first movie?
no, she was in some other stuff. She was in oh boy, it doesn't matter. She was in a lot of other films. I could go back to her IMDb and talk about it, but
She
does
has
it
a
really?
great look. I mean, I couldn't imagine that she wasn't more popular. She has a great look.
Oh, she did. She was doing stuff even up to 2021 was her last billing, but not a whole lot on her resume. But she seemed to stay active like every other year, every few years or something like that. But yeah, the new Avengers, she was in that. But anyways, yeah, listen, this movie is directed by Lamberto Bava, and yeah, we're gonna have to start doing some more popular movies here. I guess I'm gonna pick some different ones coming up here when we can only pull in 16 people. But listen, I know Macabre's very out there,
But Dino, I mean, come on, we talk about this every week. Like,
no, I know it's in the
this will be in the archive now,
playlist.
and whenever
Yes,
it pops into someone's head, I wonder
yeah,
what this movie Macabre is, because
yeah,
there was another Macabre many, many years ago.
yes.
And that comes up too.
Mr.
You might be looking for that and stumble on this and say, hey, what's this about?
Mr. Chow from The Hangover. I have not seen you in like 2 years. Where the hell have you been? But good to see you, Mr. Chow from The Hangover. And you say watch Barbarian. It's funny you said that because I watched that 2 days ago, and it's a new horror film that was just released in 2022. Me and you, I see. I got to put some newer horror up for us to watch. That was interesting. I'm not going to say go watch that. It was
I'm not.
interesting.
I was going to ask you, would you even recommend that people see this? But Dino, there
Yeah.
is that one unique thing in this movie that I asked you before the show. Is there any other movie that has this? And you said no. So there's
Yeah,
that.
don't give it away yet.
I
But
won't. But there's that. I'm saying like.
yes, there is a distinct. Like I said, it's a slow-paced movie,
Mm-hmm.
suspense building up to something during the last 20 minutes. Something big happens at the beginning, something happens shortly after that, and then there's a stretch. And then the last 20 minutes is just like, boom, let's change the movie up on everybody. You know what I mean? And you're like, it was disturbing. The Barbarian. Well, we're not talking about The Barbarian, Mr. Chow. We're talking about Macabre. From Lamberto Bava.
Or what was the alternate title? Because these movies always have an alternate title. It was Macabre or something else.
Frozen. Oh boy, what was the other?
Frozen
Death. Frozen
Okay.
Death. Yeah, and yeah, I think those were the two. And Macabro, that's the Italian.
Macabre.
Mike Barrett. Hey, he appears. Hey, Mike Barrett, what's going on? Dino, if you wanted to see a Lamberto Bava Giallo, you should have done You'll Die at Midnight. Listen, you could tell me, you can go on and on about the movies I should watch, but listen, I'm going through them all. I keep going to movies, even ones that you say are like gems or sevens, and you know they're middle of the road fives, and I will wait until the end of this to tell you my overall thoughts and my score out of 10. But this
as
one
always,
as always, I get it, Mr. Chow. And listen, you're going overboard on Barbarian, bud. It was okay. It was okay.
now
but
you've done it.
Listen, Barbarian
Now
was
you've
not.
done it.
It was not the bee's knees, or the, I don't want to use a dirty word or not, but it wasn't all that. Listen, Barbarian was okay. I am never going to watch it again, but it was a different type of movie. It was a pleasant watch. It was a little scary, a little spooky. And then, well, I wouldn't even say spooky. It was a little disturbing.
Can we get back to Macabre, the movie?
Yeah, I know. See, they throw me off here, and then I get going. But yeah, no, this Macabre was a movie that he and Pupi Avati got together, and Antonio Avati, and I think another person, don't remember the name. And
someone saw a newspaper article.
Yes, Pupi Avati.
Oh, Pupi saw it. Okay.
Pupi.
And he called in Lamberto.
They started to talk about it. And Lamberto thought he was going to come in to assist in another movie.
But Pupi said, no, I want you to do it all, baby.
Yeah, so he ended up, this is his directorial debut, which, I was not aware of that. Before this, he was just helping his father out. He was helping Dario, all these other, directors. And what ended up happening was, well, after this film too, it is funny. His father, Mario Bava, who was ill and passed away 2 years after this, wanted nothing to do with this, didn't want to influence him in any way. And after it was done and he saw it, he goes, now I can die in peace, because he wanted to see that his son could do something on his own. But then
I hear beautiful story.
Oh, it's so sad. Oh my
Just
God.
really gets you right here. That's so beautiful.
But listen, Pet Cemetery European. Okay, Mr. Chow, it's okay. You haven't been here in a couple years. The way we do these movie discussions is we talk about the movie that we're discussing. I understand that you're this isn't like a Q&A session. I'm glad you're here, but I'm not going to give my opinions on Pet Cemetery or anything else. Let's drop it. We're talking about Macabre. Good to see you. It's been a while. Welcome back, friend. But Mario Bava, yeah, so proud he can die in peace now. But yet, everybody says that everybody else assisted him and helped him with the making of a lot of his films. And Not saying that he didn't have a role in the making. He's a director. He's directing.
But he surrounded himself with some talent.
Yes. Well, Pupi Avati alone found this article when they were in the States and saw this article from New Orleans of this actual case. And I don't want to give it away.
Oh, so it actually happened in New Orleans. For some reason, I thought it
Yes.
didn't happen there. Okay.
No, it actually happened in New Orleans.
Okay.
And there was a newspaper article that, again, described it all. And without giving anything away, it's like, whoa, okay. But listen, this happens a lot. I think in New Orleans, something like this happened this year, but it was a man and not a woman. But that's all I'll say. But a lot of input, I think, was given by Pupi Avati to Lamberto Bava.
I think Lamberto said that he didn't think it was true. Like, he was like, no, that didn't happen. Like, there's no way. And Pupi Avati was like, no, read this. It really happened. And Lamberto was like, that can't be true.
And they said, whoa, let's elaborate and let's put a script together and let's give it to Medusa, I think, movie company. And they came back to him and said, yeah, let's do. And he was like, whoa, this was just a joke. Come on, you're writing a script that's a joke. Listen, this was very similar to another movie that his father directed the year before or a couple years before, called Shock. Same type of movie. A lot of people say that Lamberto Bava kind of wrote that film and had a lot of input in there because his father was ill and all that stuff. So both similar films, which tells me maybe Lamberto did have something to do with this more than you think. But listen, Pupi Avati, I think this has a lot of feel as the other movie we saw, the laughing what's that?
The House with the Laughing Windows.
Yeah, House with the Laughing Windows. Oh my God, Mike Barrett. What was the name of the Giallo list you saw this listed on? I do believe it was Flick something. So yes, it was on a list that I seen, and that's why I said, okay, sounds interesting. Let's check it out. Oh man, was I wrong? But
see, you sound so excited right now. You're so animated about all these different people working on it and the process and everything. And I'm like, yeah, but the movie sucks.
Listen. We have to make. Hey, even if the movie's bad, or if people think it's all right, or if others enjoyed it very much, so we still have to entertain. And
we're going to entertain, but I'm not going to lie and say the movie is good. This movie bites.
No, I need to be enthusiastic about the
you can be enthusiastic about how much this movie bites.
Okay, let's do this, Ginger. Yeah, this movie, man.
Do it. I'm ready.
God, this movie. Oh, yeah, that would make for a great stream. As it is, we're not pulling in people because they're such weird movies.
Let's get the movie started, dog.
No, again, Pupi Avati, I think, had a lot to do with this too. But
okay, so a man is leaving for work.
Okay,
start the movie. A man's leaving for work.
If you're sure, yeah, let's start off. Yeah. Go, yeah, no.
You go. A man's leaving for work.
Yes.
And then what happens?
Hey, Emily Thompson, what's going on?
Hey, Emily.
Yeah. I saw this movie
everybody.
Years ago, but it's not a Giallo. Yeah, please don't exclamation that. Yeah, I get you. I just said that. I said it was on a Giallo list, but it's not a Giallo.
Yes, we spoke about it extensively.
Okay, start the beginning of this off while I go change the title of this stream.
Okay, a man is leaving
how's the
for
movie
work.
Start? Yeah.
A man is leaving for work, and his wife is glad that he's leaving. Their two kids are playing out on the front lawn.
Yeah.
And his wife watches him leave, and then she goes on the phone and she says, "Half an hour, baby." And she leaves the kids there with the gardener. Like, then she told her husband
that's weird. Like, keep the kids with the gardener.
Yeah, and the gardener's like, all right.
Yeah, why go have an affair?
So immediately after she leaves, she leaves, she goes in a taxi to some weird house. Meantime,
Oh,
her kids are home.
yeah, and can I mention that real quick too about the house? It is funny that it's based in New Orleans. The story, okay, the story is based in New Orleans.
Mhm.
The actual they spent 2 days in New Orleans to get some footage and to film the front of the house, and everything else was filmed in Italy.
Uh-huh.
Salo on Lake whatever in Italy. It was filmed in Italy, and they happened to find a house that looked similar in appearance. If you could notice in the scenes as the movie goes on, but it's mainly the opening intro where they're dancing in the street and stuff like that, where you get the New Orleans feel and some of the houses down the main streets and stuff like that. But it was mainly filmed in Italy, and they try to fool you with it not. So yeah, so the gardeners, I'm watching the kids, and there's this really bratty girl who is Lucy
She goes and
Baker.
gets a cigarette and takes a couple puffs of it. She's snooping around because her mom's not
After
there.
her mom leaves, yeah.
Mhm.
For those who aren't on Discord, if you're in Florida and need to get away because of Nicole, we have space for you here at Rich
That's
Cat
so
Ranch.
sweet of you, Kathy.
Nice, nice, nice. Why is there? That's a hurricane, right? Am I?
Yes.
I don't watch news, so
It's
I'm.
bad in Florida right now.
Wow. Oh
It's going to be
no.
here, but it's going to be nothing when it's supposed to hit here, I think Friday, but they're just saying like strong wind and a couple hours of rain, and that's it.
Oh boy. Okay, so there you go.
Friday
So
or
yeah,
Saturday.
so we got this creepy, and they really never explained why this girl's kind of like
No,
a
they
psycho.
don't ever.
She's a psychopath in this
She's a
movie.
psycho. She really is.
She's and very, very well done.
Hmm.
I what's her last?
She's
Her last
scary.
name's
That little girl is scary.
yeah. She ended up moving to Japan. She did a few other things, but mainly just
Japan.
living her life out in Japan. But her brother
Was she
ended up
Italian?
being yes,
Okay.
and her brother also appeared in some of the movies that Lamberto would go on to
Mhm.
do, like most of the demons ones. Yeah, so
I've
it's
never
very
seen those.
interesting.
You know, I've never seen those.
Yeah, you've seen Demon from Dario Argento. But yeah, she's a psychopath. We don't get any explanation why. They're
And
pretty much
she's
just
so like the stuff she comes up with. She's so creative, and like she's really deeply disturbed.
oh yeah, deeply disturbed, and it could be her upbringing. Listen, her mother's a nutcase too,
Yeah.
and we'll come to
Yeah.
find out that not just a nutcase, but severely disturbed.
Hmm.
And I don't think it was just over the accident, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, she's
Well,
running
two
off.
things happened to her. Two very traumatic things happened to her at the same time.
Yes, yes, they do. And again, like you said, she leaves the daughter there to play with to watch the kid, who's younger, her younger brother, and she goes off to this house,
And I think her
where
daughter knows. Her daughter's like, I know where you're going. I think her daughter knows.
yeah, she even calls her up at this other
Oh,
house
right, she
where
did.
Jane, who her name's Jane Baker,
Jane
uh,
Baker. Hmm.
and her daughter's Lucy Baker,
And the son is
and
Michael.
yes, and Jane Baker goes to the house of Fred.
Fred. Fred's from,
Fred.
do you know where Fred's from?
No, where's he
He's
from?
from Philadelphia. His name's Fred Kellerman. They announced it on there. It's Fred Kellerman from Philadelphia. When the girl reads the newspaper to Robert, she says
Yeah,
Fred Kellerman from Philadelphia. I was like,
that's
oh,
fantastic.
oh God.
So Fred from Philadelphia is I'll be sure to say that every time now, because that's what I know him by now, is Fred from Philadelphia. Is
Good, you do that.
he's renting an apartment out in this big, lovely old New Orleans
It's not lovely.
building.
That thing is all run down.
No, I love old houses. I love old
Yeah, but that one's not
mansions.
taken care of. Some of the houses that they showed on the way over there, oh my God,
Yeah.
they were lovely. But that
Oh, yeah.
house was not all, it wasn't grand like those other ones.
Okay,
I mean, they
moving
were
on.
poor.
I know
They
it's
were
not
not rich.
Philadelphia. But yeah, it was a house where Fred was renting up like an apartment or
A
whatever
little
upstairs.
apartment, yeah.
And also the blind man, Robert Duvall, who plays a big role
Robert
in this movie.
Duvall.
Robert Duvall, yeah. Not
It's
the
not the
father of
actor Robert
Shelley.
Duvall. It's a guy who plays a character called Robert
Yeah,
Duvall.
he's from Philly too.
No, he's
He's
not. He's from New Orleans.
no, he's from Italy is what he's from. And Robert Duvall's the blind
He's got the
man,
most
and
beautiful blue eyes.
he does just like mine. And he's
Ah.
when she comes through, I'm just like hit with this, like, what the hell is going on? Because he's up there, Robert, the blind man, taking a bath with
And
his
his mom
mother.
comes in.
His mom's cleaning him, and
That's her baby boy. He's 30
Jane
years old, and that's still her baby boy.
And Jane's coming up, and he's like, "Mom, shut the door. I'm too old for this." Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Hey, WWM, if I didn't say hi, good to see you.
And he actually turned out to be a really kind, decent person.
Oh, yeah.
Because he could have turned out really whacked out with a mom like that. I mean,
well, what did Lamberto Bava say about this film? He said most of the ideas, which revolves around sex, in this film, is something you should not see. Going back to religion and the
taboo.
Yes, very
a
taboo.
Common theme with him, yes.
Yes, and
I told you it's about, what do I always say about these movies? Morality.
Morality, yes.
It's always something about morality.
About morality.
Being punished for your
sins. Yes. And he's so no, you're 100% right. But he says you should not. He says you should not see the act. What a bunch of bull crap. But anyways, so he says, yeah, you should, and he says it shows in the blind man just hearing the act, and
oh yeah, because he hears her upstairs getting down.
Oh my God, which is so weird. So yeah, so okay, let's put this in perspective. So she goes there to have an affair with Fred. Meanwhile, the daughter's calling up and bothering her and stuff. So
and she knows it's her daughter, doesn't she? Doesn't she know it's her?
Yeah. She's just and there's mothers out there. Listen, she's all about this man, Fred, and she can care less about her kids. I mean, it's sad.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if she isn't into her husband anymore, but she just leaves her kids with the gardener. I mean, what is wrong with you?
Mr. Astrophysics, she bathed me until I was 25. Aunt was a great washer. My aunt bathed me up until, okay, Mr. Astrophysics. Thank you for that comment of, I guess it's good that his mother bathed him because he was blind. I think that's the point he's trying to make, Mr. Astrophysics. Listen, no judgment here, okay? When you have issues, I can see being bathed by an adult or a loved one if you can't do it yourself. There comes a time, okay? I'm just got to get this out. There comes a time in your life, usually around puberty, where you learn to bathe yourself. Okay?
And it's a nice time because you're like, I'm grown up now. I know how to take my own shower.
Yes, and it's a skill.
I don't want mommy lifting my leg up and rubbing soap between my cheeks. No.
Right. Or your aunt or anyone else. It's a skill that you need to learn in order to get through life.
A life skill.
I do hope, Mr. Astrophysics, that you're able to bathe. I'm sure you've learned after you were 25 how to bathe yourself, but anyways, moving on. Or before puberty, yes, CM. Somewhere around there, yes. You definitely teach your kids as young as possible to take care.
My daughter texted me and said, I'm sorry, my daughter texted me. She's at work
Yeah.
up in North Philly, and she said the whole block just went dark. They lost power the whole block.
The whole block went dark.
Where my daughter
Blackout.
works up in North Philly.
Oh, rolling blackouts in Philly. The
Don't
best
say
location,
that.
the best location in the nation. So Philadelphia, Fred.
You're gonna stop talking about Philly. That's
He's
gonna stop. You heard
okay.
me.
I think Mr. Astrophysics is just being
Oh
just,
yeah, that's
yeah.
all right.
My
Yeah.
aunt just wanted to make me. She was let's say I was such a big boy. Okay.
They always have to try, Dino. Why do they always have to try you?
I know.
They always have to try. Like, why?
Well, I'm not just deleting the message. Well, yeah. I'll yeah, okay, message deleted. We'll see where it goes from there. So
Kathy said, I don't like where you're going, Mr. Astrophysics. Tell him, Kathy.
well, you know what? Yeah, I don't like that whatsoever. Listen, that's just a little too perverted. So bye-bye. Anyways, so
where were we?
We reach a point now where the mother was just saying, listen, brat, I don't want to be bothered. So she goes to get her attention by drowning in the bathtub her younger brother.
And then she calls her mom while her mom's in the middle of doing the thing with her guy on the side. And she says, Mommy, Michael's dead.
Yes.
And so they rush
to get her attention. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And to punish her.
To pull her away from Fred from Philadelphia. She had to make that phone call. And
yes. So they rush home. Fred's driving her home.
Yes. She is.
And she's upset, of course.
Yeah, she goes, come with me. Oh my God, you can come with me.
So they're in the car and they're on the way.
And I don't think the husband's there at the house. I think, again, she left and the husband's still at work. But yeah. So they're driving like a bat out of hell. And Lamberto Bava, specifically in this film, don't ask me why, but didn't want to show the actual kill.
Yeah.
Or he says just the impression of
the broken windshield
of what happened is what he wanted to get across. The screaming woman, Jane, just in hysterics, and the blood. So, interesting. As his
you knew what happened. It was gory.
His father's Mario Bava though, and he's surrounded by all these horror, directors, filmmakers, and he goes the way of, which I think was the influence of Pupi Avati. Pupi Avati's more about the suspense and the weird kind of disturbing kind of storytelling and anyways, and cinematography. And in this movie, we don't need to talk about cinematography at all, because it's just most of the movie just takes place right in the house, And
also there's some scenes, like I said, of like when they're driving in New Orleans, the beautiful old antebellum mansions on that long boulevard, and her walking in New Orleans, and I don't know.
Oh, and we should talk about the interesting dubbing and accents. Yes, they got people from the New Orleans area or no, not even the New Orleans, just Southern accents. They got actors and actresses to dub over in a Southern accent. It wasn't
made me want to vomit.
Yeah. It wasn't even really New Orleans accent. It was just Southern, and I'm just like, this is so weird. This is weird. It doesn't sound right. Especially the young Lucy Baker, the young psychotic girl. Her voice just, it didn't match. I don't know. And even Jane Baker.
All their voices just got on my nerves. They got on my nerves.
Yeah, it was just a very stupid Southern accent. And they were...
My father says. It's like, shut up.
My father says. But I tell you, the one that did it the best was whoever dubbed over the blind man, Robert Duvall, not Shelley Duvall's father.
This was the worst. This was the worst.
No, his was more of a New Orleans twang, so he kind of had a little bit of that in there. Although it was, And Philadelphia Fred, I don't know. I don't think we even hear him say anything, right?
No, I don't think he ever says anything.
I think he just goes.
When he
That's
shows
all
up
he does.
at their little love nest, she just runs into his arms, and I don't think he ever says a word.
I think during the act of lovemaking, I think he screamed out Philadelphia. I think that's the only thing he said in the entire movie.
He said, "Oh, I wish I had a cheesesteak."
And the accident when he was going right into the guardrail and it goes right through the thing. He goes, Philadelphia, here I come.
He was going EAGLES.
So she ends up going to a mental institution because she was so
traumatized
by the whole incident of her lover.
And she walks out, and where does she go? Straight back to the love nest.
A year later, she goes back to
365 days.
Yes, she goes to Philadelphia Fred's apartment, and she rents it out because he's no longer there, or is he?
And the whole time. See, why?
Chuck, I didn't do nothing. No.
And
it's
she
like
asked Robert, "Have you been getting the checks?"
I tempt you with the ending, and you think that I'm saying it and spoiling it. So,
it's my chance to get out. You are.
Listen, I know you badly throughout. It must be some issue with you where you so badly want to tell the ending.
Back up. What was that now?
I think there's an issue with you where not in that way. Listen,
wait a minute. Let me write this down. Wait,
I think
I gotta write this down. Hold on.
Listen, I don't know what it is, but I think once we start, I think as soon as we go live, I think you want to talk about the ending of the movie. And I think it's just something that's, you just can't help to get to the end.
We're not supposed to air our dirty laundry in front of our guests. Don't embarrass me.
Okay, so anyways, I'm just joking, Ginger. I mean, come on. Did I mention you guys? Little break here. And this is not a sponsor. This is a friend of mine who sent me all kinds of. Can I say it, Ginger? Can I take a little intermission here? Talk about the coffee. Listen, if you love coffee, okay, as much as I love Ovaltine.
He sounds like a commercial. Oh, this is good. If you love coffee,
just as much as I love Ovaltine, you got to check out the Coffee Shop of Horrors online. Listen, my friend Chris sent me because he listens as they're packing at their mom and pop. They're on the internet, Coffee Shop of Horrors. They sent me all kinds of packages.
What flavors, Dino? Tell me what flavors.
Oh my God. They come in these awesome packets like these black packets with this one's called Reanimator Morning Blend. This is kind of cool, but I like this.
Reanimator because it's a morning blend. That's catchy.
There you go. And Judgment Day Terminator, it's chocolate mint. He adds and infuses his own flavors into the coffee, the finest coffee grounds around. Listen, I'm saying that because I tried it. Again, I'm not sponsored. He just sent me this as a friend and said, "Hey, you got to try these, man." I may get my own line of coffee, he said. But listen, that's not, I'm endorsing it because I like
did you make up a name yet for the coffee?
We
should have a contest where everybody submits what they think your coffee brand should be.
There you go. Yes.
And then we'll talk about them, all the suggestions, and you'll pick one.
Here's one that's Philip Nutman's Wet Work. Coffee that's a shot in the head. I haven't tried this yet. It's a Brazilian moron Olerin. Oh my God, I don't even know which one that is. I got to look closer. But then, and there's a Scarface looking one. Listen, there's all kinds of really cool. The creme de mint was good, and the coffee, chocolate mint. Let me put this all back in here. Check out Coffee Shop of Horrors, man.
Coffee Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, and I'm only saying that because he said, "Listen, try it out. You don't need to say nothing or anything, but listen, if I try something out and I really like it, I'm going to tell you guys, man, this some good coffee." And I've tried a lot of coffee.
Dino. You're a good egg.
Yeah, thank you. Very cool stuff. So yeah, definitely check them out. Anyways, where were we? Okay, so this
She
Fred
gets out of the mental
from
institution.
Philadelphia. Oh,
She
what?
she gets out of the mental institution and she goes
Yes.
straight to the boarding house. And Robert's very happy to see her, and he tells her that his mother has died. And she says,
Yes,
"Is the
the poor guy's
electricity
got
still
it.
on?" She needs to know if the electricity's been on the whole time. And he says, "Oh yeah." And she said, "So you got my checks?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, yeah." But so you didn't have to send them because he still works. He
Yes.
fixes. Oh, thanks, Kathy.
Yeah,
He
thank you.
fixes
There's the line.
instruments,
Yeah.
and he's like, "You didn't have to." But she's like, "Oh no, I need the electricity on."
Wait, what did I just? Yes, we need more. Oh, I thought it said yes, we need more ass. Oh my God, I'm losing it. I'm losing it, Rich Cat. Kathy, sorry. It just
So I was
flashed
going
up
to say
real quick. We
something,
need
but I'm
more
not going to
sass.
say it.
But yes, no, she ends. Yeah, the blind man's happy. He's polishing trumpets and stuff like that, musical instruments, and what goes on from here, it's just a long stretch. And this is the part where, yes, I was sitting and I was looking at it and I was going, what the hell? This was
Yeah,
on a
because like I
Giallo.
said, you're acting so excited now, but last night when we talked,
Okay,
you were
now
like,
I'm
"This
acting a
movie
little
bites."
now I'm acting a little pissed off, okay? Because I'm like, because of the movie. This is
Okay.
the part where this is the part where, oh my God, do I need to put you to the side a second?
Go ahead.
Listen,
Go ahead.
listen, this is the part of the movie where I said I was a little pissed because I'm like, listen, this was on a Giallo list. A couple of them. What is wrong with people? Okay. I was waiting
This,
for
like
the
I said, this
murder.
movie was only an hour and a half, but it dragged in several places and it made it seem like it was so much longer. The movie
Yes,
wasn't that long, but it was like,
and
it took
that's
forever.
where we're at.
That's it.
We're at the point where there was like 45 minutes of just what the hell is going on. There's not a murderer. I was waiting for some kind of masked villain or slasher to
Look,
come
you know,
in here.
look who checked in. Oh my God, we are sitting here bagging coffee and we just dropped a bag. You all are awesome. What does that mean?
Crazy Jackal. What? Is that you, Chris? Is that you? Oh my God, we are sitting here banging. Yeah, Crazy Jackal. I don't know if that's you or not. It doesn't say Chris. It says Crazy Jackal. But don't drop the bag. All I know is, listen, a bunch of people tried it. I put it in because it's kind of the old school coffee where you need the filter you put in there. Although you can put them in the filter cups that come.
Oh, is
for
that
the
considered
Keurig.
old school now? Because,
I
oh,
think. I
wow.
mean, I don't blah 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 womp womp womp.
That's okay. I'm all right with being old school.
Hey Jeffrey. Hey Emily. Thanks for asking Tara tonight. Sorry to hear that, Emily. Yeah, have a cup of coffee. Wake yourself up. Although, like me, it's hard to drink coffee, but afterwards I was like this. But good stuff, and a bunch of people really enjoyed it. But anyways, yeah. So during the stretch, there's this thing going on between Robert Duvall and Jane Baker, and it sounds like the very first instance where she goes up to her apartment and she's about ready to she brings out an altar. Okay, that's what she does
Yes,
first.
like a shrine
She's got this shrine for
to her lover.
yes, for Fred from Philadelphia. And she's even got the state of Philadelphia sticker on the top
The state
of
of
the shrine.
Philadelphia? Okay, Dino.
And she I gotta retitle this. What do I gotta
Let me take over for a minute, all right? Because you're
Macabre
dragging.
1980 Philadelphia Fred. I need to change the title to that. I will do that when I can. Yeah, it's me. Oh, it is Chris. Look at right on spot, and you had no idea I was even going to talk about it. But yeah, and there's some cool stickers I got on the back of the car. Oh, it's a lovely evening here in the Cleveland area. It's about 58 degrees, half a moon out there, I think, is what's going on. That's what
No.
my computer says, half a moon.
Moon's pretty full, I think. Isn't the moon full?
It should be.
cool.
Yeah. Then why's my computer got the degree and it says clear and it's got a half a moon? Oh, that's
I
just a
don't
regular
know.
icon.
May I? Can I talk just for a second?
Sure. Talk about the shrine because that's where we're at, lady. Go. Too much silence. Too much silence. Oh, you need to be quicker. Quicker on the draw. Come on. What are you doing?
Boring. This movie's boring. I went too far.
What the hell are you doing? Everybody stare at Ginger for a while.
Oh, because you know what happens? I take way too many notes. I took way too many notes thinking that this movie was going to be a good one, but it was another stinker that Dino picked.
Shrine.
Okay. You know right away when she opens up that freezer that there's a head in there. Robert prepares a What
the hell is wrong with you?
Robert prepares.
What did you say that for? See?
So let's move on. Robert prepares a candlelight dinner, which consists of a can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup.
Halfway through, and you just gave away. Anyways, I ain't even mentioning it. Hopefully, people didn't hear it.
Well, you keep talking about it.
Jeffrey is rubbing it in a little bit with the championship Astros. You know, Fred from Philadelphia wouldn't like you talking like that in the screen. But
hey, fair is fair. They won. I mean, fair is fair.
That I don't need to see this flick. Everything is so chaotic. Oh, sorry to hear, CM. Well, hopefully you enjoy us at least talking about it. But yeah, listen, you forget about what's going on in the world. I know it's hard to do, but listen, when you come to the channel like this,
you leave all of that behind.
You leave all that behind. I learned
it's gonna be there. It'll still be there when you come out of here, but at least you can enjoy yourself for an hour or so. And when you go back out there, it's still gonna be there.
Well, I learned a couple years ago to ignore everything, man. Just live in your own world. Rich Cat just ordered a bag. Very cool. Yeah. Which flavor did you order, Rich Cat? The Late Horror Show one? Oh, K. Nelson. Okay, I'm even more confused than usual trying to follow these movie reviews. Okay. Well, that's what you're going to get here, crazy Jackal. I mean, K. Nelson.
Do they have a chocolate cherry flavor? I like chocolate cherry flavored coffee.
I'm not sure. Check out the site, but I'm not sure. K. Nelson, you're more confused. Well, listen, these are discussions. This is what
it's like, baby. This is it.
Yeah, these are discussions and not movie reviews. They're more discussions than anything. I should start changing it to movie discussions because
love you, CM. Hope you feel better, girl.
Of course, CM. Yes. Much love to you. I ordered Southern Pecan.
Ooh,
nice.
That sounds yummy.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yum. But no, we're going in order of the movie. We just kind of
thanks, Kathy. She said yes. There's a chocolate cherry coffee. Thanks, Kathy.
Yum. Yes. I figured there would be. There's chocolate mint. Listen, that's. But so yeah. He's got this. That shrine just freaked me out, and then he hears somebody coming to see her. See, this is the weird part of this movie. Hey, Grant L, what's going on? We're at the part of the movie where I guess you're trying to think that there's a lover coming to visit her at night.
Mm-hmm.
And you even
or that she's imagining it. I thought that she was just was just in her imagination.
Well, at the end of the movie, you definitely figure that out, that it's all in her head. But at that point,
I'm like, look at you just giving away the ending of the movie.
I didn't give nothing away.
It's all willy-nilly. See, when you say it, it's not giving anything away. When I say it, it's giving something away.
When you say there's something in the freezer, that's giving it away. When you say, well, everything changes that at the end of the film because of what happens, that's not giving anything away. So anyways, jeez, I'll write a book for you, a small pamphlet.
I have my own, thank you.
Oh, you do? That's right. It's very girly, girl. So you get this point of view with the camera where somebody's actually walking through the hall, and yeah, you got something to show. Boring. Yeah. Well, this part, listen, the last 20 minutes redeemed a little bit
You
of this
keep
movie.
saying that. I don't
Well,
think you know what that word means.
Anyways, you get the impression that somebody's coming up to see her through the camera work. You hear footsteps, and then
And she's definitely having a moment upstairs.
oh yeah, she keeps having these like
Moments.
nightly moments where she's like making love.
Moaning and
The sounds of groans and moans and all that
saying,
good stuff.
"Oh, Fred."
Hey, it's Dave Plouffe, the man himself,
Hey,
the
Dave
myth, the
Plouffe.
legend, the professor. He is here to give his point of view or just to listen to us babble on. And
he's
Kate
gonna
Nelson-
Irish goodbye. He's gonna Irish goodbye like he always does. He says
But
hi, and then it's like, "Where's Dave?"
But Dave always comes back and watches these shows. He's a very busy man, grading papers. Let's see. What was I going to say? Kay Nelson says, "Oh, I do love what you do, but I like my coffee black."
Well,
Oh
all
my
right.
well, that's good. Yeah, we all like things different, and I need my coffee with flavor. My kids always joke with me that like sweet and sour chicken, I need my chicken and rice with the sweet and sour sauce, so it's almost like soup.
Tell
Syrup.
us more about your sweet and sour chicken, Dino.
Oh, lady. Oh, my.
Fascinating.
Certainly will. Listen. Oh, it does not go on a plate. It goes in a bowl. And,
It's
okay,
more
listen.
efficient that way. That's efficiency.
Listen, I love flavor. I love sweetness. So sugar, cream, all of that stuff needs to be in my. Okay, let's continue. So, you guys are
Yeah,
getting
you were
me with
saying some weird thing you ate
Dave
the other night.
Plouffe said Irish goodbye. What's going on, Ginger? What do you say that for? What's that mean? He's
Because
asking.
that's what Plouffe does. He Irish goodbyes every time. He says he
Ginger
says
gets
hi
upset
everybody, and then he disappears.
he pops in and out.
Dave, don't you let Dino fool you. He agreed with me when I said this to him before. He agreed with me. He said, "Yeah, Dave Plouffe, he Irish goodbyes, but he always comes back."
Hey, listen here, Dave Plouffe's.
Deny it. Deny it.
What are you talking about?
You said it.
Love you, Dave. Love you.
We love you, Dave.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Battling Bickersons.
he watches every video.
That's awesome.
Well,
Thanks,
not
Dave.
everyone, but I'm sure a number of them, and he comments. And the way I know is because he comments on some of the things that nobody else ever really catches. So in the middle of the, or the towards the end, listen. So much love to you, Dave. She says the Irish goodbye is going back and forth. So
no, that's not going.
Let's move on.
That's not what Irish goodbye is.
Isn't that
Blue
what you
was
said?
out. CM asked me where my cat is. She's around.
Who asked
She was
you?
out before we came on live. She was out caterwauling.
Join us Sunday.
Look at Dave.
With David and Dino. 1985 Clue.
Whatever. I'll go to church. I'll go to church on Sunday then.
You know what, Dave? I wouldn't mind doing a movie review with you on Clue.
Hey, wait a minute. I was joking.
Not on Wednesday.
How dare you? And right in front of me, too. I mean,
not
sir,
on Wednesday.
Humanity.
Not on Wednesday or Sunday, Ginger. It would be a Monday or Tuesday or another day. Anyways, yeah, you know what? I think I have to.
Where were we?
We'll talk, Dave. I need to get you on the channel here. So,
and Dave probably has really good equipment. There won't be any technical issues because we've been having some technical issues.
Oh, Dave. Well, yeah, he should.
I know
be good.
Dave probably has good.
He does a lot of. Okay, this has nothing to do with the movie. Continue on. Let's see. Again, this was a long stretch where she's making the moans and groans upstairs. She's meanwhile, Robert Duvall's downstairs, the blind man. He wants to go up there and confront her. There's a woman living in his house. He's a blind man who's probably never been with a woman before.
And he likes her. He
yearning.
clearly digs her.
Yeah, don't ask me why. It's probably because it's the only woman that comes to the house. So, you know.
Are you saying that she's not attractive? I think she's very attractive. I don't think she's attractive.
Well,
she's too old for you.
Let's just say, no, she's just. Listen, I've been through this with Ted over the years many times. Everybody's got a look. She's an attractive woman. I'll leave it at that. Is she not blonde? Listen, blonde has nothing to do with it, Kathy. Is she a blonde? She's not a blonde. She's brown haired. Isn't that what you call it? Brown haired.
Mm-hmm. And the carpet matches the drapes. We can verify that for sure.
Yeah, you definitely see that in the film.
Yeah.
She's got a figure. She's very voluptuous.
Okay.
And let's move on.
Yes.
The shrine. And so I know. Come on, let's keep it going. Oh my God, let me put these things over my eyes here. How that looks. So he keeps hearing somebody come up, you know, because she's making love every night, and who's she got up there? So the really interesting thing that was going on in this film is he started to question it, and he started.
He set up a little boobies trap at the front door.
Little boobies. Yeah, little boobies he put up.
Like somebody wouldn't see it and just step over it.
But true, because, well, if it's dark, they wouldn't. But and usually the lights are probably off throughout the hallway there. But he sets up the string. He sets up the string. What a superb way of setting and rigging the place to find out if somebody's
coming in there.
Booby traps. He sets it up. And he finds out that nobody left. So who's up there? Who's up there? So, you know, it's the question over and over. And during this time, too, there's a couple times where he is really cool. It's really brunette Dino. Well, brunette's black haired, right? Yeah. Not a brunette. It's brown. So the daughter comes there a couple times throughout this slow period during.
And you find out that she's evil. She comes in and just starts snooping around, and
she brings a picture
of the baby that she killed,
of her dead brother,
and puts it in her mother's apartment, like prominently displayed. I was like, this girl is sick. She
goes, she will love it. And she's skipping around.
And then she tells Robert that it's a picture of their father.
Yeah. Well, because, and that right there tells you that she knows it will affect her mom. And no rhyme or reason to it. She just.
You never find out why.
She acts fine when she's around her mother, like she's happy.
And
wait, what happened to the shrine?
When she's around her dad.
No, Crazy Jackal. Chris, listen, the shrine is there on a stand a little ways away from the bed, and she's always looking.
She takes it down when she leaves, and she puts it back up when she comes in. She doesn't leave it if she's not there.
When she's performing the act, she brings it out for Philadelphia Fred. And so the shrine is there for, oh God, it's complicated without me giving the ending away, although it's been given away. It's been given away but anyways, but I want to come up to the climax. Woo! And so this is the daughter keeps coming in and she's acting crazy and stuff. And there's a point where
she doesn't go to the freezer, though. The daughter doesn't go to the freezer. She doesn't know anything about the freezer yet.
No.
But Robert does. Robert's like, there's something going on with that freezer.
Yeah, something you want to say now? Where are we at? Come on. No? Got nothing to say?
I don't know.
It's going to take you a few minutes there?
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so
Robert hears her saying Fred, 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 and he contacts a friend of his and says, hey, can you get me a newspaper that talks about a car accident that happened with this woman, Baker, what's her name?
I love doing these discussions. I don't, I don't care. I love doing these. These are so fun. CM says everything but a plot, Kathy. No, listen, there's a plot in this movie. Listen, daughter kills brother, younger brother to.
So come on, let me finish what I was saying.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, finish what you're saying.
He hears her saying Fred. He meets up with this woman who reads him the article about when this accident happened. And he
gets an investigator. Yes.
That's a friend of his. It's not an investigator. It was a friend of his. She just got a newspaper from that day.
It's a friend who investigates.
Yeah.
And
so then he finds out Fred
just so happens to have an investigator as a friend.
So that's when he finds out who Fred is. He suspected Fred is the guy that got killed. So why is she up there talking to Fred when he's dead?
And Fred's is dead. Yeah.
Except his head.
Fred is dead except his head from Philadelphia. Right. So
Jane comes back and sees the picture, and it definitely affected her.
She was not in this movie.
She comes into Robert's bedroom and she's like flirting with him. She's got that
sexy
black
freezer
on.
Oh geez. Yeah, Kay Nelson. There's a freezer in this. Sorry, Dino, brunette is described as brown in the dictionary. Oh. Okay. See, how did I not know that? My mind's going.
So if you have black hair, what is it called? Black hair?
I guess so.
I thought brunette just meant anything that's dark. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, maybe brunette's brown and black. Why was I raised thinking brunette was black hair? Maybe my parents always said, "Hey, she got brunette. She's a brunette. She's got black hair." Because
I thought it just meant dark hair. So at the beginning of the movie, you very prominently see that Fred, the lover man, has a gold earring in his earring.
Yeah. Oh, very small detail, which comes back later.
It comes back right around now. Yeah. When Robert goes up to her bedroom snooping around and he looks at the bed and he's blind. Well, he doesn't look at anything because he's blind.
Wait. Are you telling the ending of the film?
No, I'm telling you when he finds the ear in the bed. That's not the end of the movie.
He finds the ear?
He finds the ear with the earring in it.
Okay.
And he puts it away, and then that little brat, Lucy, takes it later. But yeah, this is when he finds the ear with the earring, and it's like,
where was the ear with the earring? Where was it?
In her bed, when Robert went up to her bedroom to snoop around when she left, because he knows there's something weird going on.
So the ear must have
on her bed. He was feeling all over her bed, and he found a little piece of an ear that had an earring in it.
Philly Fred, all he wanted in life was to get ahead. Good one, Sam. Okay, what am I supposed to read? Fred's ear with earring? Something. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it must have fallen off. Listen, let's get to the point here, man.
No. So then it cuts. Jane walks through the cemetery, and I didn't put it together, but
oh, that hurt. Oh, nothing. Go on, continue. My fingers.
Jane walks through the cemetery.
Desk.
And I don't put it together until later, but it's the anniversary of her son's death, and she goes to the cemetery on her own.
Yes.
Robert,
you see a nice little trip, and then she stops at a coffee shop where there's cheese and wine. Go on.
So while she's gone, Robert goes up in her room snooping, and that's when he finds the earring. And then he goes over to the fridge, and he opens the fridge, but there's a lock on the freezer, and he's like, why is there a lock on the freezer? And he's like, oh, well.
Locks their freezer. Yeah, I was saying the same thing. I'm like, somebody's hiding something in there.
So Robert's picking the lock. He's trying to pick the lock.
Hey, Jules PDX.
But then Lucy comes, that little brat Lucy. And she tells him, today's the anniversary of my brother's death.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, Yosemite Sam. What?
So then that night, Jane's doing her thing again with Fred's head. And Robert goes up and he sees it. He's like, she's in bed with a head.
Oh, thanks, Kathy, Rich Cat. Yeah, I'm gonna share that on my community tab too. So and the Instagram and the Twitters, and I'm gonna get that all out because, like you said, let me know what you think of it. And so I got to let everybody know what I think of it. So, anyways, continue, Ginger. I'm sorry. I apologize. Please forgive me. In Philadelphia.
So this is something that I never knew. He goes to the freezer
Oh,
and he
yeah.
opens it, but there's nothing in there.
No.
So he picked the lock. He picked the lock open, and he took a piece of a match. He took a little piece of a match and he shoved it down into the lock, so that I
And
guess if
it's
you close it, it wouldn't close all the way. But then they
yes.
never mentioned that again. They never mentioned it again.
Well, there's no need to mention it again because see, there's a whole scene and dynamic going on there. Because see, what happened was Robert, the blind man, this time snuck upstairs
Mm-hmm.
while she was making love to
Yeah, she
whatever
was
was
in
in
the
that.
next room and he walked right by.
Yes, but he snuck around
Mm-hmm.
to where the kitchen was in the fridge and he hid behind there.
And then she came
Okay.
in.
Yes, and put something back in. But this time he'll be able to come back later because he's put that match in there.
Mm.
So that's what Ginger forgot to mention. She's not good on details, but she tries. She's a trooper. So she yeah, so it's
So
a
Robert
lovely.
touches the head. Robert waits until she walks away and he goes over to the freezer and he pulls it. You're right. He pulls the lock open and he's blind and he feels in there and it's a head.
Yes, it's a head. I think he knows it's his it's Fred's
It's Fred's.
head.
He has to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, but he locks it up, right? And what ends up happening is
Lucy comes over and her father comes and he
yes,
writes a note to Lucy and she gives it to her father.
yes.
And he calls Robert and he's like, "What?" And Robert's like, "Your
He's
wife,
trying
like
to
your wife is
yeah.
doing something really weird and there's a head in the freezer." And her ex-husband's like, "I don't care. I don't want anything to
No,
do with
I know.
her."
Yeah, yeah. He's like, I want nothing to do with that woman. Do not
Yeah,
call me. You take it up with
you're
the police
crazy.
if anything. You're
And
nuts.
Lucy's at the top of the stairs in the banister listening, like, "What's going on?" Like, because she's evil.
Yeah, Fred's
And
head from Philadelphia. Yeah.
And so she goes over to the boarding house and Robert lets her in, even though he knows like there's something really crazy going on in here. He lets her in because she's so pushy.
And she's gonna make dinner for them. Okay. Which evidently consists of soup. I didn't see any other meal being made.
I know it was always soup.
It's like, oh, well, you guys are gonna enjoy this meal, and all I see is soup.
So Lucy, no, but Lucy, he thinks that Lucy left, but she didn't leave.
But Lucy's
And
lawless.
she gets the key and she goes to the apartment and she opens up the freezer and she sees the head in there. This little girl sees a head in the freezer and she goes, eh.
And she decides to take and make her mom and
You
Robert
just want to skip all the way to the end.
didn't
You're at
know
the
and
end of the
make
movie
dinner.
now.
She wants to make dinner, and so she uses the head or a part of it, right? Or
What
just
about
the
the
ear.
part that her father dropped her off at some kid's house and she was supposed to spend the weekend with some kid and he drops her off at the gate and she waits till he drives away and she puts her thumb out and hitchhikes over to Jane's apartment. I'm like, how old is
Right.
she and she's hitchhiking?
Okay, so Emily says, here are hair descriptions in case anyone's interested. Blonde, red, black, and brunette covers any brown up to black. Up to black, then it's black. There were too many shades of brown to describe every shade. Makes sense. Okay. So my parents were a little, yeah.
Yes, Kay Nelson.
Cool.
Yes, that is correct.
So she's having sexy time with a head. Oh, I didn't say that. Yeah, you know, we said it like halfway through this, and I'm sure some of you picked up on it, but yes, that's what's going on. But okay, so the ending of this film, right? Like we might as well jump. Man, I'm belching up crazy. We
So,
might as well
yeah,
jump to
Lucy
the end.
makes this soup, and you know, because Lucy's
Oh
evil,
yeah, let's
you
finish
know
this.
when she makes the soup that there's something, either she poisoned it or because she's evil. I knew when
Yeah,
she
yeah.
made soup, I was like, okay, what's gonna happen? Because you know, she probably put like paint in it or something, you know.
Yeah, she's so psychotic that it's just not. Yeah, she's not going to just be nice and make them dinner.
So Robert's upset because like he knows what's going on, like he knows everything that's going on, and he's trying to keep it together because her daughter's there, and they're all eating this soup that little Lucy
Well, no,
made.
they're not eating it. They're sipping on it. They can't chew it. It's not a
Well,
stew. It's not a
Jane gets
stew.
something to chew on, doesn't she?
Yeah, and they
Jane gets
force
something to chew on.
and Jane tells Robert, she goes, "Oh, come on, she went through all the effort. Just take a bite so she knows you took a bite." And when he does, he just so happens to pick up the air with the earring.
No, he doesn't. Come on,
No,
Dino.
he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Was that Jane that did? Yeah.
We're
Right?
gonna have a talk later.
Okay. 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 Well, then what happened?
It's
What
so funny to
happened?
me that Jane takes a sip of the soup and there's the ear, and you know where the ear came from because they
Yeah,
show it very prominently at the beginning of the movie that Fred has an earring in his ear.
exactly.
Why is she spitting it out and acting like it's so gross? It's like, oh, that's too gross for you. Like
Oh, yeah. I know. but
you're making out with
Robert,
a maggot-infested, rotted, decapitated head, but the
yeah,
ear soup is just too much for you.
no soup for you. Oh, he's closing down, man.
So
Newman,
then
he's
it gets
closing
very
down.
intense. From here on out, it gets very intense. And Dino, take it away.
The elderberry wine. Yes, it gets very intense from this point forward. And this was the, again, like I said, it started to pick up speed here, and I'm just like, wow, okay, this took a turn, a wild turn, a wild west, wild west. And
Stop. Just stop.
don't tell me stop.
Stop.
I
I
never
just told
stop.
you. Stop.
I'm gonna keep going. Philadelphia freedom, Frederick. That's his name in the movie. He goes by that at the beginning of the film. Philadelphia Frederick, she says. She calls him that.
No,
So
she doesn't. She calls him Fred, my love.
yeah,
My
from Philadelphia.
darling.
She says, "Do you got the tickets to Philly?" Remember that when she said that because they were gonna elope. So yeah, it takes a turn. You know, it's all this creepiness. She goes back up to the apartment. It's
She
that night.
who? Lucy?
Jane.
Jane? Okay.
Yeah, Jane goes back up. This is the end of the movie. Jane goes back up there and she goes up there and gets this time they show the whole process. Okay, let's do the reveal. She goes to the freezer, gets the head out. She carries it to the bed. She puts it on the bed. I can't read that. Let's see. Goes upstairs. Robert. Oh my God, kissing him. Okay, let me get to there. Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to get you there, baby.
You got to set the scene. Okay, the blankets are laid, the music's playing, you know,
And
the
she's
candles
fully
are
on
the
getting
candles
down with a rotted, severed
the
head.
candles are lit.
Hey,
She's
you know, she
feeling it.
had a lot of fire hazards in that room. She was lighting those candles and putting them right behind the curtains. I was like, what are you doing?
Lots of fire hazards. Okay, so the scene of the movie. She puts the head down. She
This
gets
is
under
it,
the
Elizabeth.
covers.
This is the big one.
This is it, Elizabeth.
I'm coming,
to
Elizabeth.
Joan, Yanni. I'm coming to Joan, Yanni. Eat it there. So she lays with the head and she
And
pushes
she
it
puts
to the
pillows. She puts
pushes
pillows
it.
underneath of it, like that's his body.
Yeah, she pushes it to the limit in the movie with
Way beyond the limit.
making love. So I don't know what it was made up, if it was just prosthetics or how they did it, but She went full on lips on this head, and she was sucking face with it and all that sloppy stuff. And I'm looking and going, holy hell, what am I looking at? And
It was very
just,
intense and very disturbing. I've
it was
never
very
seen anything
intense and
like that
disturbing.
before.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Because
And
before
it had,
this, but the first time they showed the head, it was a frozen head. It had like frost on it and everything. The second time they showed it, it had maggots crawling all over it.
I know. So
And
how
then now
long is
she's
it?
got that in her bed sucking
Well,
on
she's
it.
taken.
Ugh.
And hello, Kevin. What's going on? And yes, she every time she brings it out and it thaws and go, it's just grotesque, and she's sucking face with it and everything. And it gives me a little bit of that Psycho vibe, you know what I mean? Where, Norman Bates has got his mother up there and he's taking care of her,
Exactly.
but in a sexual way between Philadelphia Fred and Jane from New Orleans. New Orleans Jane. Is this a horror or adult movie? I'm confused. Don't be
I
confused.
know, right?
A lot of sexual and adult themes are in a lot of horror movies, Chris. Crazy Jackal. But this wasn't as bad as most, but it pertains a lot of weird fetishes, and it is, what is that called? Necrophilia. I mean, that's exactly what it is. So there's a lot of weird, but listen, most of the movie, you don't get that. And that's the point we were trying to make at the beginning, where this movie is just long, and it's only an hour and 30 minutes, and it's long.
No, I
and
said
drawn out.
that. I said that.
I said it too.
No, you
But I
didn't.
said that, yes, I did. And I said the last 20 minutes picks up speed and gets a little wild and crazy and kind of,
Disturbing?
Listen, yeah, not every movie has to be, you don't got to be in a car going 90 the whole way. You can stop off at a coffee shop. You can slow down, enjoy the trees. So listen, movies can slow up a bit, lady.
And this one did.
It did.
So Robert tries to call. He wants to call somebody, but she has unplugged the phone and the door's locked. So he goes upstairs.
So Pinhead
There's
style.
a kid wailing outside.
What's wailing outside?
There's a kid outside just wailing.
Wailing? He's in a boat? Do you got water nearby?
Yes,
The
I
hell's-
do. I live on the
the
Darby
hell?
Creek. Yes.
And there's whales in there?
Yes. They're little, though.
Somebody look up the definition of whaling.
They're technically whales. They're just really small.
Thank you, Rich Cat, for the links and all of that. I appreciate it. And yes, don't miss tomorrow night for Paranormal Into the Night with guest Maria Crandall. We will be talking New Orleans. Speaking of,
Oh, wow.
the lore and history,
The
of
irony. Do you
Yes,
see the irony?
of vampires in New Orleans, and I will be touching on, of course, Anne Rice and the Vampire Chronicles and Lestat and all that good stuff. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a wild and crazy time. Yeah. Happy Veterans Day, Friday, November 11th. It's the 9th. So it ends. She starts to roam around the house and lock the doors so nobody can get in. The police, I don't know, coming and all that kind of stuff. And
Because her secret's been revealed, she has nothing else to lose now. She's like, well, everybody knows now, so I'm
Right.
just going to burn it all to the ground.
Well, does she? Because she's just psychotic. She know that.
She really, the crazy
head.
in her really comes out there at the end.
But Robert Duvall, the blind man, he starts walking up the stairs, and this is what gets me, the ending. These Italian films sometimes, man, what the hell? We get to the point to where we find out that she's got this necrophilia going on.
Oh, she kills her daughter. She drowned her daughter.
Yes, we didn't even mention that. During all of this,
because her daughter was being evil, she was screaming at her and just being terrible.
After the soup and before the head lovemaking.
After the soup and before the head.
She was able to fit in drowning her daughter. So yes, that was part of it, and that was creepy, floating in there with her head to the side, and it was like very eerie and very creepy.
Right, Kathy? Oh, by the way, she also killed her daughter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the girl's so psychotic that it's just a sidebar, but
And then
thank you,
unfortunately,
Sam. Well, let me get to that. Yeah, let me say the ending here.
Unfortunately, Robert has to kill Jane.
Yes.
And how does he kill her?
You tell me.
There's some kind of weird, what is it, an oven? He shoves her head into something that's red hot. Like, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know why it's an oven from Italy. It's not New Orleans. It's a oven from Europe. They're always built strange. It's an electric kind of grill inside that he pushes her head on, and at first I'm like, listen, she would just be burned. She wouldn't die.
Right.
But it looked like something was also stuck in there. Who knows? But
yeah,
nevertheless,
there was something in her eye or something. I'm like, what is that? What is it?
I don't know. Bada bing, bada boom. She's
so he
dead.
goes back upstairs. So she's dead. The little girl's dead. So Robert goes back upstairs.
And this is what throws me off completely. It doesn't need to make
this is it.
Yeah, everything else.
Not the whole entire movie.
No, the girl's psychotic.
But why? Why is she psychotic? Why?
Well, I mean, they don't explain that, but we know she's psychotic, right? So that's a fact, right?
What's her end game though? Because she kills. What is her
of the daughter?
Yeah, like what's her whole point? Why is she doing this stuff?
She's psycho. There doesn't need to be an end game or a reason. Okay, that's fact number one. Let's move on.
Because it's like she hates her mom, but then when she's around her mom, she acts like she really loves her. It's just weird.
Her mother, Jane is a necrophiliac.
She is.
Fact. She's dead. Fact.
So Robert goes up and he's on the bed and he's feeling around on the bed.
Yes, he's on the bed. And what happens here, and I said this 15 times already, I have no idea what it's about, but there's a head in the bed. Fred's head.
Well, we know that the head is Fred's in the bed.
We said that Fred's head is in the bed.
Fred's head's in the bed. We said that.
But as Jonathan leans over the head in the bed, which is Fred.
What happens, Dino?
A split second, like the ending of Friday the 13th, where Jason flies out of the water, the head flies up and bites his neck.
Why? Why?
And it cuts.
And that's the end.
That's the end of the movie.
Roll credits.
Yeah. It's like, what the heck is
But Dino, you said the last 20 minutes of this movie were the bomb diggity dog.
Kevin, always thank a veteran for their service. Always do. Every holiday that comes up, I try to represent that on the channel.
My daughter is a veteran. My daughter was in the Navy.
Thank her for serving the country.
I will.
I specifically, a lot of you haven't been around for, I don't know how long you've been around, Kevin, but like most of the holidays, I do like war related stories on like Veterans Day, 4th of July. I did.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
So there are, even though they're a bit dark and they entail the goings on of World War II, Words at War, there's a lot of shows and it pays homage to a lot of the veterans who served our country. So yes, and yes. So with that said, what the hell that was at the end, I have no idea. I'm like, okay, now you make it into some kind of weird, twisted horror thing. Whereas before it was just some weird necrophilia type thing. I don't know. It was very weird. But anyways, that's the film.
The head was in the freezer for an entire year. How did she get the head? How did she get the head, and how did she get it over there to the freezer?
I would love the backstory to that. Do we need a prequel?
No, we do not need a prequel. Nope. I'm good.
Fred from Philadelphia's head. Fred is dead. Now the head.
Fred's
you know,
head is in the bed and is dead.
the prequel. I don't know. We'd come up with something, I guess.
What did you say the alternate title was again? Frozen
Dead.
Frozen. No.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes, I think it was Frozen Dead.
Okay.
And you're welcome. You're welcome, Kevin. So listen, there's Dahmer stored heads in the fridge yes, he did.
Crazy Jackal, that's it.
Yeah, I think that's how it ends. Fred's head from Philadelphia that's in the bed gets Fred, and Fred's head from Philadelphia bites his neck and kills.
Well, we don't know if it killed him. We don't know if it killed him, but
right, we know it bit him, and
how did it just jump up? How it's a head? How did it just jump up?
Listen, there's no rhyme or reason. Listen, there was plot and there was story throughout the film, and it led up to the ending, and then I see Lamberto Bava and Pupi Avati standing up and going, "Woohoo! Look at what we did at the end!" Woohoo!
I always have to say this: these
like
movies,
little kids.
These Italian movies end like a Three Stooges short, where it's just like they're doing something, and you're getting into it, and then it just wah 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 wah, and you're like, "What? Really? That's it?" They're like, we ran out of film. We can't film anymore. We gotta it's just cut. We're done.
Yeah, no, I mean, and let's not make any. Listen, I don't know what that was. Maybe there's supposedly supposed to be a trilogy of that too. Who knows? I don't know. These Italian.
They made it such a point. They made it such a point to tell you that the movie was in New Orleans. It was about New Orleans. Why didn't they make it into something about like voodoo or hoodoo or something like that?
Again, he said it in New Orleans just because of the article that they found of the real life incident, and that spawned off this whole let's do this and set it in New Orleans and go with it.
Don't you think they could have done something with just the fact that it's in New Orleans?
Yes, legend. What is going on? Yes, we do not just do streams. These movie discussions are every Wednesday and Sunday, except for the day before Thanksgiving.
Yes, Kevin Mooser.
Because Ginger's got something to do.
No, that is such a Ginger thing that you just did. See, I'm a bad influence on you. Don't get obnoxious like me. That's my thing.
Okay. Yeah, she's celebrating, and she'll have the night off. So I'll do something though. How about that?
That's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
If anybody wants to do a movie review and on that Wednesday,
but don't think that it's permanent, because this is my job. Okay.
If they want to, what's that called? I'm so my head.
Substitute.
No, try out.
Guess.
No.
Audition. Wait, audition.
Audition for the position.
Oh, wait a minute.
Audition for the position. Audition for the position.
You're so stupid. Why are you so stupid?
Oh my God.
So let's have your rating, Dino, out of 10. Okay. What do you give this?
Because of the ending, it kind of picked me up like a good strong cup of coffee shop of horrors. And I said, damn. And so I give it a 6 out of 10.
No.
Yes. 6 out of 10.
4.
Legend goes job.
4.
Is she getting paid? No, she don't get paid. She's doing this out of the love of the channel, man.
That's right.
I can't afford to pay people. Anyways, yeah, special guest. Okay, so you gave it a 4 out of 10.
I have to say
4
this,
out of 10?
not for nothing. I just have to say this in general.
Yeah.
Talking about money and like how much people get paid and stuff like that, don't you think that's kind of tacky?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just think it's tacky.
Well, of course you never bring money up and stuff like that, but no, nobody's getting paid. But what am I missing here? Ken Shoemaker is here. Hey, Ken.
Hey,
How you
Ken.
doing? I
How
have
you
only
doing?
listened. He says I've only listened to your review show a couple times, but I've enjoyed listening. I know nothing of horror movies. You guys have fun. Well, that's the whole thing. Too much Ovaltine coffee. Well, that's the thing. No matter how bad the movies are, and listen, a lot of people that come searching for horror movie reviews and stuff like that look for the big popular ones and stuff like that. But these are movies I'm visiting, and I made it a point. We've said this before to visit these giallos, and after
And we're
that,
watching them. A lot of them were watching them for the first time, both of us.
yes,
And
yes.
but let me ask you this:
And I
should
took giallo
people
out of the title.
should people see this movie?
Oh God. I wouldn't recommend it. Listen. Here's the thing. Okay, we gotta run. All Irish goodbye to say to everyone. Irish goodbyes to everyone. Love you, Dave. Oh
That's
my
not an Irish
God.
goodbye. That's not what an Irish goodbye is. Irish goodbye, you don't say anything, you just leave.
Yeah. Okay. What was I saying now?
Well, you were asking if anybody wanted my job. You were asking if anybody wanted to audition to replace me.
I didn't say that. I was just joking. Listen.
Oh no, I asked you if you would recommend that people even see this movie. Is this something that you think
Yeah, no,
people should see?
there is a bunch of people out there, and even the few reviews that are out there, the people love this movie.
They do. I'm like, what?
And
They're like,
I'm
you
like,
gotta see this movie. You gotta see
but
this movie.
listen, there's a group of people. It is when you are going to go drinking, says Dave Plouffe. There's a group of people. Listen, individually, some people like different things. I've always said what our worst movie is somebody's favorite for some reason.
Correct.
So
Right, you are, Dino.
some people love the slow pace of
Oh,
these
they'll love this one then.
movies, and I'm not a slow pace person, although I can deal with it at times. Listen, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Oh, so there we go.
There you go. You could have just said no. You could have just said no.
So, anyways, with that said,
I would not either. I mean, it's got the thing with the head in the freezer, and she makes out like really hard with the dead head and everything. Other than that,
there were a few interesting points, but a lot of boring in between. So there you go. That's our thing. With that said, make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way out.
hope you
Subscribe
had
if you haven't
fun. We
before.
sure did.
Yeah, I always have fun. It doesn't matter how bad the movie is. It's always fun. Enjoy life. Don't stress. That's the key to life. Happy life. Money helps too. Yes, Kevin. But tomorrow night, paranormal show. Overnight tonight, Screen Actors Playhouse. I'm trying to think of the name. And yeah, listen, what are you laughing about? And here, I'm going to quickly do what the shows are. We have The Uninvited. The Night Has 1,000 Eyes. There are some film noirs in here too. Ghost Breakers. It's a Wonderful Life. Hold Back the Dawn. The Killers.
Hold back the dawn. That sounds like an 80s
The
song.
Killers. The Big Clock. Crisscross. Pitfall. Amongst some others. A Kiss in the Dark. All film noir adaptations.
Kiss in the dark.
So there are some good Spellbound. So there's some good, excellent shows. It's going to be excellent shoe.
A really great shoe.
Really
I'm
good
having a
shoe.
hard time, in case anybody wonders or cares. I'm having a really hard time staying up later. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I come into the chat and I'm like, oh, it's really hard for Granny.
Well, they love you in the chat, but
I know. I try,
if you're taking
but
your what would you be taking? Geritol or something like that? I mean, what would you take? You're an older lady. Should I end
can't
it
even keep
right
a straight
there?
face.
I was gonna end it right there, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do
I
that.
take one a day for 50 plus women. I take a one a day for over 50 women. And I take osteobiflex for my knees.
Well, good for
That's
you.
it.
Yeah. I